Hi everybody, it's TJ Mac Vintage Cards, and today I'm doing a video, my first baseball one, profiling the 1957 Topps set. And here's the 30 key cards that I selected for that year that I collect. And I collect 30 key cards from all the Topps sets from 56 to 89. I'm pretty close to completing my project. I only need the Rose Rookie, Seaver, which I'm not sure I'm going to get those, as I've said in other videos, and then just one from 87, one from 88, and a few from 89. So just getting right to the profile here. First we're going to start with Ted Williams. He was the batting champion in 1957, also finished second to the MVP to Mickey Mantle. Tom Yawkey, the owner of the Red Sox, was not real happy that Williams lost to Mantle, especially being there were a couple sports writers who had him farther down on the ballot, I believe 9th or 10th, allowing Mantle to win. Here's Yogi Berra, who was a three-time MVP, just a great bad ball hitting catcher. He was swinging almost anything, but very rarely struck out and didn't walk a lot either. Here's slick fielding shortstop Luis Aparicio. The White Sox finished second that year to the Yankees. And that's back when if you won the league, you go right to the World Series. You won the pennant. There was not multiple divisions back then. And the White Sox did eventually get to the World Series in '59, but lost to the Dodgers. Here's the Giants' Willie Mays, who was just a fabulous outfielder and hitter, we know that. And this is his last card on the Giants. And then the next year, the Giants moved to San Francisco. Robin Roberts, I believe the winningest pitcher of the 1950s. Didn't play for very good Phillies teams some of those years. And back then, the ace pitcher usually faced the aces of the other team. So he got a lot of hard-earned wins, I believe, in the 50s. So very well-deserving Hall of Famer. Don Drysdale, rookie, came to his own with Sandy Koufax in the 60s, formed a great 1-2 punch for the Dodgers. Here's Hank Aaron, the left-handed hitting Hank Aaron, MVP of 1957. Most of you know this is a reverse photo. He's actually a right-handed hitter. You know, this is a very young Hammer and Hank here, and just obviously a phenomenal all-around player. Bill Mazeroski, rookie, fabulous defensive second baseman for the Pirates. Also hit the game-winning home run in 1960 to beat the Yankees in the World Series. And appropriately, here's Whitey Ford, who probably should have started Game 1 in that World Series, but Casey Stengel didn't put him into Game 3, making him unavailable in Game 7, when they probably needed him pretty badly. And here's Pee Wee Reese. And Frank Robinson won MVP in both National League and American League, and probably was overshadowed by Mantle, Mays, Aaron, Clemente in his career, but he was every bit as good as those guys. And here's the MVP of 1959, Nellie Fox. Just a great contact hitter, rarely struck out, didn't walk a lot either, but had some 200-hit seasons. And here's Ernie Banks, who won the MVPs in 58 and 59. Shortstop here, later played some first base later in his career. Mr. Cub, as we all know, and just a great all-around person and player. And Bob Clemente, strong-armed right fielder for the Pirates. I think, you know, just he's kind of an underrated player a bit too. He did everything very well. And he played in an era in the 60s when he was coming into his own, when the offensive production really wasn't what it was in other decades because of the great pitching and just some of the rule changes at that time. And Richie Ashburn, outfielder for the Phillies. And then there's the Mick. This was his MVP season, coming off a great 56. He did it again and won the MVP in 57. Second of 3 MVPs, and what I like about Mantle is, you know, obviously the greatest switch hitter ever, but also was a great teammate, which is what his Yankee plaque says. You know, he had his off-field issues and wasn't a great father, so it was said, but was a great teammate, very well respected, and beloved for playing hurt, and he had a pretty rough life in many ways. some self-induced, but just unquestionable talent. And there's Gil Hodges, not a Hall of Famer, but really a key cog in those Brooklyn Dodgers teams, and just a solid all-around player. Here's your Cy Young winner in '57, Warren Spahn. And then going down here, we got Cleveland pitcher Bob Lemon. Al Kaline is one of my father's favorite players, along with Mantle. He had a deformed foot, I read one time, and it caused him some pain and whatnot throughout his career, but just a quiet performer, solid all-around guy, and finished his career with 3,007 hits and 399 home runs. There's Ted Kluszewski, the big arms, and he was played for the Cincinnati Red Legs back then. I believe they changed their name due to communism. Reds was a word that could be connected to communism terms, and so they changed their name to the Red Legs, and then later changed it back, and I believe in the early 60s. And here's Duke Snider of the famed Mickey, Willie, and the Duke. He was probably the best of the three of them in the early 50s. He had some really nice years with the Dodgers, and certainly a deserving Hall of Famer. And here's knuckleballer Hoyt Wilhelm. Played for different teams in his career. You see some cards of him with the Orioles and other teams, but here he is with the Cardinals. And here's a three-time MVP Roy Campanella, who was paralyzed in a car accident in 1958. Cut his career short, but again, won 3 MVPs, so that tells you the kind of player he was. And then we got Enos Slaughter, better known on the Cardinals. Then he went to the Kansas City A's. Then the Yankees got him from the A's, and he was very helpful with a couple of their pennant runs in the late 50s. And then there's George Kell, third baseman. I believe he won at least one batting title. Known more for the Tigers than the Orioles, but good player. And here's a guy that formed a great 1-2 punch with Hank Aaron, Eddie Matthews, one of the finest third basemen of all time, no doubt about it. Hit over 500 home runs. And playing with Hank Aaron, it's hard to stand out, but he certainly did. And we got Sandy Koufax, who wasn't really what he was in the 60s at this time. This is his third-year card. Once he went to LA, he got it together starting around 1960 and had one of the greatest stretches of pitching ever seen. Here's Brooks Robinson's rookie. Brooks Robinson, nice big smile there. He's just a all-around great guy and great player as well. Known as the human vacuum cleaner. Won some World Series with Frank Robinson and the great pitching they had in the mid-60s and 1970 as well. And then finishing up here with the Jim Bunny rookie. Jim Bunny won the Cy Young in both the American League and National League. I'm sorry, he pitched no hitters in the American League and National League. Played for the Phillies, and then became a U.S. Senator later on in his life. And as I said, I collect key 30 cards from 56 to 89. And as you notice, I don't have only Hall of Famers. I have some of the superstars as well. And I try to mix it up and put some different guys in different years, just to have a variety. I do not collect in my sets like Bert Blyleven and Ted Simmons and guys like that, because I've been putting these sets together over a lot of years, and those guys never struck me as Hall of Famers. Congratulations and all for them getting in. I'm not a one of the voters, but I collect guys like Garvey in my sets, Murphy, Pete Rose, obviously. He should be a Hall of Famer. And Roger Maris and some of the guys that really, Ted Kluszewski, guys that really were well known in their era, that I thought had some outstanding years. Maybe not Hall of Famers, but were some of the top players at their time. So I appreciate everybody for watching the video, and look forward to putting some more together. And if you like the channel, please subscribe. Thanks, and have a great night.